In a bustling town, where the streets were lined with shops and cafes, there was a small grocery store named Sunny Mart. It was a place where everyone knew each other, where greetings were exchanged and smiles were shared. The store was managed by a kind-hearted woman named Clara, who had been in the business for over 10 years. Clara was known for her warm demeanor and her ability to make customers feel valued. Behind the counter, there was a young cashier named Mia. She was new to the job, having just graduated from high school. Mia was eager to learn and dedicated to providing excellent customer service, but she was still finding her footing in the fast-paced environment. She was bright-eyed and hopeful, with dreams of going to college and pursuing a career in marketing. One sunny afternoon, a woman named Vanessa walked into Sunny Mart. She was impeccably dressed, with designer clothes and an air of entitlement that seemed to follow her. She strolled through the aisles, tossing random items into her cart without a care in the world. Mia was at the register, ready to check out customers when Vanessa approached, her cart overflowing with groceries. Mia greeted her with a polite smile. "Good afternoon. How can I help you today?" Without acknowledging Mia, Vanessa placed her items on the counter. "I need you to hurry up. I have places to be," she snapped, her voice dripping with impatience. Mia felt a pang of anxiety but quickly reminded herself that she was at work and needed to stay professional. "Of course. I'll get started right away." She began scanning the items, but Vanessa continued to huff and puff, tapping her foot impatiently. "You've got to be kidding me. Is this your first day or something?" Vanessa rolled her eyes dramatically, her tone condescending. Mia's cheeks flushed, but she took a deep breath, trying to maintain her composure. "I'm sorry for the wait. I'll be done shortly." As Mia scanned the last item, Vanessa's phone rang. She answered it, her voice loud and assertive. "I can't talk right now. I'm at the grocery store dealing with this incompetent cashier." She looked at Mia with disdain, as if Mia were the source of all her problems. Mia felt crushed. She had never experienced such humiliation in her life. Her heart raced, and her hands trembled slightly as she completed the transaction. Vanessa's condescending laughter echoed in her ears as she handed her the receipt. "Next time, maybe you should find a job that suits your skills." As Vanessa strutted out of the store, Mia felt tears welling in her eyes. The encounter had left her shaken, but she quickly wiped her eyes and forced herself to smile at the next customer. "Just keep going, Mia," she whispered to herself. "You can do this." Days turned into weeks, and Mia tried her best to put the incident behind her. She focused on her work and even found some joy in her interactions with other customers. Most of them were kind and appreciative, and that helped Mia regain her confidence. But one evening, as the sun began to set, Mia's world would change once again. The store was nearly empty when the door swung open, and in walked none other than Vanessa. "Ah, it's you again," Vanessa exclaimed, her voice dripping with disdain. "I thought I had escaped you for good." Mia's heart sank. She forced a smile, determined to handle the situation with grace. "Welcome back. How can I help you today?" Vanessa tossed a few items onto the counter, her eyes narrowing. "You better ring these up quickly. I don't have all day." Mia felt a wave of anger rise within her, but reminded herself of her duty. She began scanning the items, trying to focus on the task at hand. But Vanessa wasn't done. "You know," she said, her voice laced with sarcasm, "I think you could really benefit from some customer service training. You clearly don't know how to treat your customers." Mia clenched her fists, fighting back tears. "I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm doing my best," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Vanessa laughed, a harsh, mocking sound. "Your best isn't good enough, sweetie. Maybe you should consider a different career path." Just as Mia was about to respond, the door swung open again, and in walked a tall man in a sharp suit. He exuded confidence and authority. Mia recognized him instantly as Mr. Johnson, the owner of the grocery chain. "Good evening, ladies," he greeted, a warm smile on his face. He approached the counter, his gaze shifting from Mia to Vanessa. "I hope everything's going well here at Sunny Mart." Vanessa's demeanor changed immediately. "Oh, Mr. Johnson, what a surprise to see you here," she gushed, her tone sweetening. Mia watched in disbelief as Vanessa went from rude to charming in a matter of seconds. Mr. Johnson, oblivious to the tension, continued to chat with Vanessa, completely unaware of the humiliation Mia had just endured. After a few moments, Mr. Johnson turned to Mia. "How are you doing, Mia? Everything going smoothly?" Mia nodded, forcing a smile. "Yes, sir. Just another day at work." He smiled back, then turned to Vanessa. "And how can I help you today, ma'am?" Vanessa seized the opportunity. "Oh, just some groceries. But I have to say, I've had some trouble with this young lady here." She gestured dismissively toward Mia. Mr. Johnson's expression shifted slightly, concern flickering across his face. "Is that so? What seems to be the problem?" Mia's heart raced. She didn't want to get into it, not in front of her boss. "It's nothing, really. I'm just trying to do my job," she managed to say. Vanessa cut in. "She's just not cut out for customer service. I'm sure she'll be working somewhere else soon enough." Mia's stomach twisted in knots. She wanted to defend herself, but the words wouldn't come. "Is that true, Mia?" Mr. Johnson asked, his voice gentle but firm. Mia hesitated, searching for the right words. "I'm learning, sir. I'm doing my best." Mr. Johnson nodded, his expression softening. "That's all anyone can ask for. Keep working hard, and you'll get there." Vanessa huffed, crossing her arms. "Well, I think it's time for me to leave. I don't want to waste my time here." With that, she gathered her groceries and stormed out, leaving Mia feeling a mix of relief and embarrassment. "Don't let her get to you," Mr. Johnson said, his voice reassuring. "Some people just don't understand the hard work that goes into this job." Mia smiled gratefully, her heart swelling with appreciation. "Thank you, sir. That means a lot." As the weeks passed, Mia continued to prove herself at Sunny Mart. With Mr. Johnson's encouragement and the support of her coworkers, she began to grow more confident. She even took on additional responsibilities, helping with inventory and organizing promotions. But every time Vanessa walked in, Mia felt her heart drop. Vanessa's comments stung, and despite her best efforts, Mia couldn't shake the feelings of inadequacy that washed over her. One fateful evening, as the store was closing, Mia was busy restocking shelves when the door opened, and in walked Vanessa once more. "What do you want?" Mia asked, her voice barely hiding her irritation. Vanessa smirked. "Just came to pick up a few things, but I also wanted to see how you're doing. Heard you're still here, working hard." Mia clenched her jaw, determined not to let Vanessa's words affect her. "I'm making progress, thank you." "Is that so?" Vanessa replied, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "Well, I hope you enjoy this dead-end job." Mia took a deep breath, ready to stand her ground. "I'm learning and growing every day. I'm proud of what I do." Vanessa laughed, but it was a hollow sound. "Good luck with that." Just then, Mr. Johnson walked in, his presence commanding attention. "Mia, how's everything going?" he asked, his smile bright. "Just fine, sir," Mia replied, her heart racing. Vanessa's expression shifted, and she quickly plastered on a fake smile. "Oh, Mr. Johnson, I was just telling Mia how hard it can be to work in customer service." Mr. Johnson raised an eyebrow, sensing the tension. "Is that right? I think it takes a lot of dedication to work in this field, and Mia is doing a fantastic job." Mia felt a surge of pride as Mr. Johnson defended her. Vanessa's face turned red with anger, but she quickly masked it with a sweet smile. "Of course, sir, just giving her some friendly advice." As Vanessa left the store, Mia felt a sense of victory. She had stood up for herself, and Mr. Johnson had recognized her hard work. Days turned into weeks, and the atmosphere in Sunny Mart continued to improve. Mia was no longer the nervous cashier, but a valued member of the team. She had developed friendships with her coworkers, and they often shared stories and laughter during their shifts. But the shadow of Vanessa still loomed. Each time she walked into the store, Mia felt a knot in her stomach. She wished she could confront Vanessa and tell her how her words had hurt her, but the fear of confrontation held her back. Then one day, everything changed. Mia was busy organizing a display when the door swung open and in walked a group of people. They were all dressed in suits, and Mia immediately recognized Mr. Johnson among them. "Good morning, everyone," Mr. Johnson greeted his guests, his voice full of enthusiasm. "I'd like you to meet my management team. We're here to discuss some important changes." Mia watched with curiosity as Mr. Johnson introduced each member of his team. But then, her heart dropped as she recognized Vanessa among them. Today, we're here to announce a new initiative to improve our store's customer service, Mr. Johnson continued, his words clear and confident. We want to ensure that every customer feels valued and respected. Vanessa took a step forward, her demeanor professional. I'm excited to be a part of this initiative. I believe we can really make a difference. Mia felt a mix of dread and disbelief. How could someone who treated others so poorly be in a position to improve customer service? As the meeting continued, Mia tried to focus on Mr. Johnson's words. He emphasized the importance of empathy and understanding in customer service. We want to create an environment where everyone feels welcome, he said passionately. But Mia couldn't shake the feeling that Vanessa would only undermine those values. She watched as Vanessa smiled and nodded, her eyes scanning the room. After the meeting, Mr. Johnson approached Mia. You did a great job today, Mia. I appreciate your hard work. Thank you, sir, Mia replied, her heart swelling with pride. But what about Vanessa? She doesn't seem to understand the values we're trying to promote. Mr. Johnson nodded, understanding the concern. I know she can be difficult, but sometimes people can change. I believe in giving everyone a chance. Mia wanted to believe that, but deep down she feared that some people would never change. As the weeks went by, Mia continued to thrive at Sunny Mart. She found joy in her work, and Mr. Johnson's faith in her only fueled her drive to succeed. But Vanessa's presence was a constant reminder of the negativity that could still linger. One fateful day, Mia arrived at work to find a meeting called by Mr. Johnson. The atmosphere was tense, and Mia could feel the weight of uncertainty in the air. Everyone, thank you for gathering, Mr. Johnson began, his tone serious. I'm afraid we have some unfortunate news. Due to budget cuts, we need to make some changes in management. Mia's heart raced. She glanced at Vanessa, who wore a smug smile. I'm sorry to say that we'll be letting some people go, Mr. Johnson continued. I want to assure you that this decision was not made lightly. Mia felt a knot form in her stomach as Mr. Johnson began to call names. The tension was palpable, and Mia could feel her hands trembling. She tried to stay focused, reminding herself that she had worked hard and had earned her place at Sunny Mart. Finally, Mr. Johnson called out Vanessa's name, and Mia's heart skipped a beat. Vanessa's expression shifted from smugness to shock. What? You can't be serious, she exclaimed, her voice rising. I'm essential to this team. Mia watched as Mr. Johnson stood his ground, firm yet compassionate. I understand this is difficult, but it's a necessary decision for the future of the store. As Vanessa stormed out, Mia felt a sense of relief wash over her. She had endured so much from her, and now the weight of her presence was finally lifted. In the days that followed, the atmosphere at Sunny Mart transformed. Without Vanessa's negativity, the team grew closer, and the camaraderie among employees flourished. Mr. Johnson continued to mentor Mia, recognizing her potential. He encouraged her to take on more responsibilities and even offered to support her college education. Mia felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. She had come so far since her first day at Sunny Mart, and now she was on the path to realizing her dreams. As weeks turned into months, Mia blossomed both personally and professionally. She had learned valuable lessons about resilience and the importance of standing up for herself. One day, as she was restocking shelves, Mr. Johnson approached her with a smile. Mia, I want to talk to you about something important. Mia's heart raced as she followed him to the office. What's going on, sir? I've been impressed with your growth, and I believe you have what it takes to move into a management role, he said, his voice filled with encouragement. Mia's eyes widened in disbelief. Really? Are you serious? Absolutely, Mr. Johnson replied. You've earned it, and I want to support your journey. Tears of joy filled Mia's eyes as she realized the weight of the moment. She had overcome obstacles and had proven herself worthy of this opportunity. As she left the office, Mia felt a sense of empowerment. She had faced challenges and had come out stronger on the other side. She was no longer the timid cashier, but a confident young woman ready to take on the world. And as she looked back at the doors of Sunny Mart, she knew that the journey had only just begun. With each day, she would continue to grow, learn, and inspire others to do the same. Mia stood in the bustling parking lot, the sounds of cars whizzing by, people chatting, and the faint hum of the city in the distance. But all she could hear was the rush of her own heartbeat. The day had been long, the challenges endless, and yet it felt like something had shifted within her. The moment of humiliation, when Vanessa had belittled her in front of the customers at Sunny Mart, still stung. But the sting had faded over time, replaced by a quiet strength that grew with every step Mia took forward. She realized she hadn't just survived that moment, she had transformed it. What had been meant to break her, to make her feel small and unworthy, had instead made her stronger. She had stood her ground when it mattered most, eyes steady, voice calm despite the storm of emotions raging inside her. She'd refused to let Vanessa's cruel words define her. And that, Mia thought with a proud smile, was her victory. Her thoughts drifted back to her first day at Sunny Mart, the nerves, the doubts, the sense of being out of place. How much she had learned, how far she had come since then. She had endured the awkwardness, the condescending remarks, and the days that felt like they'd never end. But she had kept going. Every task, no matter how small, she had tackled with dedication and a belief that this job, this moment, was an opportunity to grow. Mia's resilience had turned the tables, giving her confidence in her abilities. She didn't need to be someone else to succeed, she just needed to be herself. And slowly but surely, others began to see her for who she truly was: hardworking, kind, and determined. Even those who had doubted her couldn't ignore the quiet power she carried now. As she thought about the future, Mia felt a sense of calm wash over her. She knew there would be more obstacles. Life never promised to be easy, but she also knew she was capable of facing whatever came her way. She had already proven that, hadn't she? Vanessa, with all her mockery and disdain, was just a small chapter in Mia's story. Mia hadn't let her win. Instead, she had turned the tables, letting her own strength shine through. Mia had learned the hard way that true strength came from within, and that no one could take that away from her. She knew the world would sometimes try to knock her down, but she also knew she had the power to rise again, stronger than before. And with that thought, Mia took a deep breath, ready for the next step in her journey. There was so much more ahead, and she was ready to embrace it all, with hope in her heart and the quiet confidence of someone who had already won the most important battle over herself. Hey there. I hope you enjoyed the story and felt inspired by Mia's journey. If it touched your heart, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop a comment to let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts and reactions. And if you want to see more stories just like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Your support means the world, and I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you for being part of this community.